Welcome back at I Need Help at C Square. In this example, we have a polynomial function. Yes, this f of x is a polynomial function. I like it because it's in the factor form, and we need to define the behavior at its zero. So first of all, what do we mean the zero of a function? The zero of the function are those x's when the function is 0. So you see, I set up the function equals to 0. So basically, I'm ending up with this equation: negative 8 times the quantity x plus 1 times the quantity x minus 3, don't forget the square, times the quantity x plus 3, also square, and the last thing x plus 2. Equal 0. So we need to solve this equation, right? And that's the reason I said I like it. It's in the factor form already, so we don't have to stress too much. And the first thing I notice here is this x plus 1. I make that equals to 0 because it's in the factor form, so the zero product property tells us each factor can be equals to 0. And I get this x equals 1. This is the 0. Now let's take a look to something else. Here we have what we call an invisible one, x plus 1 to the power of 1. So that tells us this one has a multiplicity of 1. And 1 is an odd number. And now, because 1 is an odd number, the multiplicity is odd. So we write here, which tells us the behavior at that 0 is crossing the x-axis. Let's go to the next one, which is this guy, x minus 3 equals 0. That will be x equals 3. And what's happened at x equals 3? We have a 0. Let me write that in a better way, right? But the multiplicity here will be this 2, right? We have power of 2, so the multiplicity will be 2. We have that 0 twice, how we call it. 2, it's an even number. And what's happened when you have a 0 that has an even multiplicity? On that situation, the graph will touch the x-axis. And these are the two behavior you can have, either crossing or touching. But now let's go to the next one, which is this x plus 3 equals 0. So we have x equals negative 3. The multiplicity is 2, right? We notice these 2, which is an even number. So even multiplicity. So again, we have touch the x-axis. And we have a last one, this x plus 2, make it equals to 0. And obviously all this math I do here on the first row can be done mentally. And we have the 0x equals negative 2. Multiplicity here is 1, right? You have that invisible 1 here. Will be an odd number, and odd multiplicity means cross the x-axis. Okay, now my last thing in this example is to show you the graph of this function. I use a computer algebra system, I use GeoGebra. This is the graph. You see how I zoom out how the y-axis and x-axis looks like. So it takes some time to be familiar with that. But what I want you to see, hey, right here, x equals, it looks for me like -3, right? We touching the x-axis. This is the guy, right? The next guy is right here, right? The other 0, which is x equals -2, cross the x-axis. We have what else? We have x equals -1 right here, right? Where again we crossing the x-axis, and we have x equals 3. The last one, what again is touching the x-axis. So you see now also the graph of this function and the behavior of its 0. If you enjoyed this example, don't forget to click the like button and come back at C-Squared for more help. Thank you.